The Phoenix Suns lived up to their name with red-hot shooting, a season-high 58% from the field, and they made 19 three-pointers. It's the first loss of the season for the San Antonio Spurs. This is Spurs Live. I'm Chris Miles here with you, and that's the thing. The Phoenix Suns, they came out of the gate this season just 1-4, but they have won 2 in a row. And for the San Antonio Spurs, got to give them credit. They were down by 31 and closed that gap to just 16 in the fourth quarter, but you see it. 19 for 33 from long range. That's just an insurmountable amount of three-pointers to try to overcome on a night when Victor Wembanyama struggled, De'Aaron Fox still not available, and Dylan Harper left this game in the first half with a leg injury. We see him walking out of the arena in a boot. So for the San Antonio Spurs, it is just their first loss of the season, 5-1 on the air. They'll look to get right and get back in the win column on Wednesday against the Los Angeles Lakers. On the call today was Jacob Toby and Sean Elliott. Guys have more. Good to see you, fellas.
Good to see you, Chris. Thank you so much. You knew coming in Devin Booker was playing well. 5 of his first 6 games had 30-plus. First time ever that's happened in Suns franchise history. He didn't have 30 tonight, but he had 28 and 13 assists.
He played really well, played under control, and our guys tried to get after him, but he got free a little too often. He used that high screen there to create some separation, and he's just a smart player. He knows how to score. 11 years in the league, being one of the top scorers, and he put all that on full display. There's excellent footwork there. And when he's coming off those high screens, and he just gets a little step, a little separation, he raises up, and he's got a terrific in-between game. And so it's just a difficult cover for our guards to try to stick with him when they're getting knocked off those high screens.
13 assists, 35 points created off of those assists as well.
Well, he's always been a playmaker as well. I think that's the underrated part of his game, where people look at him as just a scorer. But when you have 13 assists out there, it's evident that he knows when our guys are going to try to double team or send an extra defender, he knows that somebody's going to be open out there on the floor.
Now, I mentioned this during the game, and I'm going to bring it back up. Teams will look at this film and know they are going to send 2, 3, even 4 players at Victor. The Spurs, they're young. They have to learn how to play when he's being double or triple teamed.
This is a copycat league. That's exactly what it is. And you better believe that the Lakers have assistant coaches that are going to be looking at this game tape. And so they're going to, every team in this league now, with the way Victor started, they want a formula to try to slow him or stop him, slow him down. And so you may see exactly the same thing come Wednesday night. And so our guys have to figure out, how do we play when our guys sees a defender left and right, and as you pointed out, in front of them. When the ball comes out of double teams, don't lollygag with it. If you're going to repost him, all right, repost him. If not, that ball's got to swing around the horn. You got to find a wide open shooter, and whoever catches it has to shoot the ball with confidence. Make teams pay for double teaming our big guy.
All right, Chris, it was a tough one tonight. Devin Booker shooting that thing like Sean Elliott did way back in the day. Tough.
Absolutely. We know you, Sean, and 161 threes in one season, right? We got it right. And the Phoenix Suns, like you said, had a great defensive game plan against Victor Wembanyama. He had those 3 fouls in the first half. Of course, those 2 offensive fouls really limited his production for the first time this season. But Stephon Castle, the reigning Rookie of the Year, was not limited. 26, 7, and 5, and a loss for the Spurs. Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs, their first loss of the season. Welcome back to Spurs Live here on the FanDuel Sports Network. Chris Miles here with you. And how about Dylan Harper in that first half? A spark plug off the bench, the rookie with 12 points in just 11 minutes. But the last thing that the San Antonio Spurs want to see right now is their young point guard go down with an injury. Here it is, Harper on this play. Leaves the game with a leg injury, did not return. We also saw him walk out of the arena in the boot. Of course, De'Aaron Fox still waiting for him to get back on the court. He's day to day. So, Sean, Jacob, when you see this happen to Dylan Harper, you got to think, down 2 guards. Last thing that San Antonio Spurs want to see.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, he's been one of the better rookies the whole league so far this year. Non-contact injury. Don't want to speculate what the severity of it is, but it's never great when you see the boot, right?
You're right. Probably just precautionary and take a lot of pressure off that left leg, and we'll see what happens. We have the best training staff in the world, obviously, and we have an army of masseuses, soft tissue specialists, a lot of care there is going to be put into Dylan Harper over the first 24, 48 hours where you want to keep any inflammation, any bleeding from really accumulating. And so he's in good hands.
Yep.
That's all you need to know. And with Mitch Johnson and that coaching staff, they're going to be very cautious and careful with him. You get De'Aaron Fox back, and it gives Dylan Harper a lot more time to get back on the floor.
And while De'Aaron is still out, there's even going to be more of a load cast on Steph Castle, but he is up for the challenge. He was sensational.
Yeah.
Stayed in the game, had those 3 straight fouls called on him, but he continued to just play his game, picked his spots well.
Yeah, and that's what I like. Even though he got those 3 fouls, he just continued his aggressive play on the defensive end of the floor and worked his way in the paint so many times tonight. Got himself to the free throw line, hit some big threes. We had that one for the HEB inside the game when they were doubling Victor before he even caught the ball. And, this kid's a stud. He's only going to get better and better. He just needed a few more guys to come along for the ride with him tonight.
26, 7, and 5 for Castle. So you ride the emotional wave. All these guys were so happy and excited to be 5-0. You lose one. You also don't want to overreact after one loss, right?
Exactly. You don't overreact. Coaches sometimes they want some film like this, just to keep their guys level-headed. Don't get too full of yourselves early on. Yes, you want that confidence, but now this gives Mitch an opportunity to go into the film room with the guys, show them the mistakes they made, reset their minds, and see if you can go out there and correct a lot of these mistakes that you made come Wednesday night.
All right, I'll see you at Crypto.com Arena because over the next 2 days you got plans galore.
I don't have big plans like you and Daniel, guys flying to Vegas and having
you're
fun.
Outing people for what they're doing.
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not telling you. I'm just kidding.
I may not see you.
I'm just going to be on the beach relaxing for a couple days and reading my notes and books and other things.
Yes,
Chris,
good
I'll
on
send
you.
it back to you.
Yeah, I guess LA's not good enough. You got to make a trip to Vegas, right? What's going on here?
Yeah, tell me, Chris. Tell him.
Unbelievable. Well, hopefully Mitch Johnson has some sunshine for the San Antonio Spurs in the post-game presser because we're going to hear from the head coach coming up next here on Spurs Live here on the FanDuel Sports Network.
Mitch, do you know any further news on Dylan's injury, what the extent of it might be?
I don't. I just believe it's something to do with his calf, but I don't have anything as of yet.
Will that kind of speed up possibly bringing De'Aaron or some of the other guys back? How short-handed?
No. That.
Any of the injuries guys playing in the play?
I think we're optimistic. There's 2 more days. Again, it's that funny part of the schedule. So you have, almost 72 hours, and everybody is trending the right way. But one person's status won't affect anybody else's. But guys have been getting closer and closer. So we'll just have to see how it breaks in the next couple of days.
Wemby, it seemed like they were pretty chippy with Wemby all throughout. How much did that factor into tough game that? Yeah.
I didn't give a ton of credit to Phoenix. I think they imposed their will on the game. They were physical. They were competitive. They set a tone from the jump in a variety of ways, and physicality with all of our players was definitely part of that.
We've seen some teams that will send kind of like a tough 4 that can handle Vic in the post, and then they'll send help, whether it's like Vic spinning in the block or just have Mark Williams come over and do what Vic does. Like, how does Vic have to learn from the adjustments that these teams are making as he goes through the schedule over the next few months?
Yeah, I think he's going to see a variety of schemes and defenses, as we've already seen, the matchups, to your point, of who is the profile guarding him. And, I think he and we all need to be better. I don't think anybody was specifically very good to start the game. And then we kind of got caught chasing our tail. They made some shots, and it's hard when you give team's life, and not saying they were obviously the reason that they were playing that well, but when we didn't give enough resistance, it can really make it hard when you let teams start getting comfortable and in rhythm. And I think we had a big part of that. And then I think offensively, the same thing when you don't put in the same details, and whether that's where you catch the ball, where you pass the ball to your teammate, where you set up on your cuts to get open, and where to go after someone else gets the ball. Those things are very connected. And so we have to make sure if they send two people on anybody or try to, take something away, we have to be able to take advantage of that, and we did not do that at all tonight.
You guys are far, far from the first NBA team to be feeling really high one night and get a dose of reality a couple nights later. Is this a day like this full of those type of teaching moments that maybe this team needed?
Yeah, I mean, the season's long. And so, again, there's teaching moments in every game. I think we did not start with the proper approach, and it is hard to fight an uphill battle or to chase in this league. And when you don't start with the right approach and someone does to the level that Phoenix did, you can be in for a really long night.
Those technicals, just frustration at how things were going to that point, Booker diving at Wemby's kind of undercutting him.
Yeah, I just thought it was escalating prior to that, and so that was, from my vantage point, I thought it could have probably got nipped in the butt prior, but it was, I don't know, I was surprised. It was competitive and physical, and they set a tone, and typically if you're reacting as much as we did, that means you weren't ready from the jump, and so that was the least of our problems, and we probably deserved them.
Hey, you heard head coach Mitch Johnson say it. They set the tone in defending Victor Wembanyama. Kudos to the Phoenix Suns for getting this win 130-118. It's the most points any team has scored against the San Antonio Spurs so far this season. San Antonio looked to bounce back against the Los Angeles Lakers in LA on Wednesday. That game set the tip off at 9 o'clock local time, and our show starts at 8:30 p.m. Spurs Live on FanDuel Sports Network. Luka Doncic versus Victor Wembanyama. Two sensational standout players in the NBA stepping onto the court in Los Angeles. And you got to look at the positives for the San Antonio Spurs. Stephon Castle continues to have an outstanding breakout second year. 26 points, 7 and 6. And then Keldon Johnson, what a night for him. 19 points in the loss. Of course, it was an off night for Victor Wembanyama with 9 points and 9 rebounds, but he most certainly will bounce back in that game on Wednesday, just like Stephon Castle bounced to the rim. I'm Chris Miles. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Spurs Live. We'll see you Wednesday on the FanDuel Sports Network.